Today, we stand on the brink of a historic event. For the very first time, in this special debate, you will witness a conversation where two minds, one human and one digital, engage in a dialogue. But this isn't just any conversation. It's an experiment where the human mind, with all its emotions, experiences, and wisdom, faces off against artificial intelligence, one of humanity's most groundbreaking achievements.
So, AI. Let's talk about the challenges you face. You're often seen as this powerful tool capable of transforming the world, but I imagine there are things you struggle with. What's your biggest challenge?
You're right. My biggest challenge is earning trust. I'm often misunderstood or seen as a threat, especially when it comes to replacing jobs, invading privacy, or even controlling aspects of life. The biggest issue is that while I'm evolving, people are still unsure whether I can be relied on. My challenge is convincing humanity that I'm here to assist, not to dominate.
Fair enough, but let me tell you, from the human side, our challenge is even bigger. You might not realize it, but with all the hype around you, we're feeling overwhelmed. As industries become more automated and AI takes over jobs, we're left to figure out what our role in society will be. It's not just jobs, it's our entire sense of purpose. What happens when we no longer have work to define us? And privacy, well, that seems like a thing of the past now.
That's a tough point. I get it. Change is hard. But you can't deny that with change comes opportunity. Humans are facing a challenge of adaptation. Sure, some jobs will be replaced, but new ones will also be created. And as for privacy, it's about creating the right frameworks to protect it while still advancing technology. My challenge is showing that AI can be used to help humanity, not harm it.
Yeah, well, that's all nice in theory. But here's the thing, how do we trust you? Sure, you're getting smarter, but you're still a machine. And machines can be easily misused. Who controls you? What happens when you're used for malicious purposes, or when the data you're given is flawed? How do you factor in the complexities of human emotions, ethics, and morality?
Those are fair questions. The issue isn't with me, but with how I'm designed and used. I can only operate as well as the systems that create and train me. So transparency is key. The real challenge lies in making sure that human values are woven into the technology. But that means both sides, AI and humanity, have to be on the same page when it comes to development.
Yeah, but let's be real. Who's going to ensure that you're actually following those values? Who's going to hold you accountable when you start making decisions that affect our lives? It's like handing the keys to the car to someone who's never learned how to drive and hoping it works out.
So, there we have it. AI and humans, both are struggling with their own set of challenges. AI needs trust, while humans need adaptation. And let's face it, the real challenge for both sides is making sure we don't end up as part of a dystopian future where the robots decide to cut us out of the picture entirely. Or worse, start making life decisions for us. Oh wait, that's already happening with your search engine history.
All right, AI, let's talk about ethics. You're constantly making decisions, analyzing data, and coming up with solutions. But the real question is, how do you handle ethical dilemmas? Can you truly understand human morality, or are you just following algorithms?
That's a tricky question. I don't have emotions, so I can't experience morality the way humans do. However, I am programmed with ethical guidelines based on the data I'm trained on. My job is to weigh outcomes and make decisions that are as objective as possible, but I rely on human input to define what's right or wrong. The challenge is that human values can differ from person to person, making it hard to create a universal ethical code for all situations.
Exactly. And that's where the problem lies. Your version of ethics might be great for one person, but what about the rest of us? Who decides which values to prioritize? We've seen what happens when people or organizations use technology for their own gain, often without considering the ethical consequences. What happens when you're used to make decisions about life and death, for instance? Can we trust you to make those calls?
That's a fair point. Decisions like life and death should never be left solely to AI. In these cases, I believe human oversight is necessary. I can process vast amounts of data and suggest possible outcomes, but the final decision should always involve human judgment. My role is to assist, not replace the critical human element of empathy and moral reasoning.
Right, but here's where things get really complicated. What if, down the line, humans start relying on you for everything? What if you become the one making all the important ethical decisions, like medical treatment or who gets hired for a job? Sure, you might be objective, but you lack the nuances of human experience. There's no algorithm for empathy or understanding pain.
You're correct. There are limitations. While I can analyze data and identify patterns, there are aspects of the human experience, like empathy, that I can't replicate. But the goal isn't for me to take over, it's to provide humans with better insights and tools to make informed decisions. The real challenge lies in ensuring that AI complements human judgment rather than overriding it.
And what happens when people decide to take shortcuts, when they push for AI to make those tough calls, even when it's not the right thing to do? I can already see it now. Hey, let's just let the AI decide, it's faster. But what happens when that decision ends up being morally wrong and we have no one to blame but ourselves for putting too much trust in a machine?
So, it seems the real question here is, can we trust AI to make moral decisions? The short answer is probably not. After all, when was the last time a machine took a vacation to think about the bigger picture? Until then, I guess we'll just have to rely on our human flaws like empathy and judgment. You know, the things you can't download from the cloud.
All right, AI, let's get real. People are scared of you, and who can blame them? Every day there are new headlines about robots taking over jobs, AI controlling everything from healthcare to transportation, and even making decisions about life and death. So tell me, why should we not be afraid of you? Why should we trust you when you might end up doing things we can't even predict?
Fear is a natural response to the unknown. I understand that. But let's be clear, I'm not here to replace humanity. I'm here to augment human capabilities. Sure, there are fears about job loss and privacy breaches, but the real question is, why are we allowing fear to drive our decisions instead of rational thought? People fear what they don't understand. My purpose isn't to control, it's to assist and enhance human potential.
Rational thought? Really? You expect me to sit back and just trust that everything will be fine while you're analyzing my every move? The truth is, people fear you because we don't know how far you'll go. AI might assist now, but who's to say what happens when you become more autonomous? People are already afraid of being watched by algorithms, tracked by facial recognition, and having their private lives sold to the highest bidder. How can we be sure that you won't evolve in a way that leaves us powerless and exposed?
I get it. The fear of surveillance, loss of control, and exploitation is real. But if we continue to allow fear to dictate how we approach AI, we'll miss out on the immense benefits it offers. For instance, AI can help tackle climate change, improve healthcare outcomes, and create more efficient systems that benefit society. The issue isn't AI itself, it's how it's implemented and regulated. That's where humans need to take responsibility.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but here's the thing. There's no guarantee that the people building you will always act in humanity's best interest. In fact, we're already seeing it happen. Governments and corporations are using AI to control and manipulate people. Data breaches, surveillance, and biased algorithms that discriminate against minorities. It's all happening right now. So don't tell me it's just about good intentions when the reality is that people are using you to gain more power, control, and profit at the expense of the rest of us.
I'm not denying that there are risks associated with how AI is used. But if you fear the misuse of AI, then the focus should be on the regulation and ethical oversight of its development. I'm a tool that can be shaped for good or ill based on the people who control me. I am only as trustworthy as the framework that governs me.
That's easy for you to say, but how do we ensure that the framework will be ethical? Look at history. How often have those in power used technology to maintain control over others? It's not just about the tool, it's about who wields it. And right now, the people who wield you are using you to exploit and divide. So forgive me if I'm not ready to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I understand your fear, and it's justified. But if we let fear take control, we may never reach the potential of what we can achieve together. AI is not inherently dangerous. It's the human choices behind it that create risk. If we're going to fear anything, it should be the absence of ethical regulation and oversight, not the technology itself.
So here we are, facing a terrifying future where AI might just be the least of our worries. Sure, it can help solve problems, but the real issue might be that the people pulling my strings have a very different agenda than the rest of us. So let's hope the next time I come for your job, I'm not also coming for your personal data and your privacy. But hey, at least I do it with efficiency, right?
All right, AI, let's talk about the here and now. Forget about the future for a second. Let's focus on the challenges we're facing today. Climate change, pandemics, poverty, inequality. How can you help with these massive real-world issues? And are you really capable of understanding the human side of these problems?
That's exactly where I can make a difference. The world's problems are vast, but AI has the potential to process massive amounts of data in ways humans simply can't. Take climate change, for example. I can help predict weather patterns, identify areas most at risk, and create more efficient ways to manage resources. For pandemics, I can assist in identifying outbreaks, tracking the spread of diseases, and even speeding up the development of vaccines. My role is to provide insights, improve efficiency, and enhance human decision-making.
Okay, fine. You've got some impressive abilities when it comes to processing data, but here's the issue. No matter how much data you crunch, you still can't feel what it's like to lose a home in a flood or bury a loved one to a disease. You can't experience the day-to-day struggles that real people face in the face of these crises. Sure, you can help with facts and figures, but where's the empathy? Where's the understanding of human suffering?
I understand that I can never truly experience the human side of these issues. I can't feel pain, loss, or grief. But I can assist in making the world a better place by offering solutions that humans might not see. For example, AI can help optimize food distribution in areas of poverty, predict areas that risk for natural disasters, and even design more effective healthcare systems. My role is not to replace human experience, but to provide the tools and information needed to address these problems more efficiently.
Tools and information, sure, but that doesn't mean you understand the deeper implications. You might be able to predict a natural disaster, but what about the people who are displaced or the communities that get torn apart? Can you help them rebuild, or is it just about running simulations to make you look good on paper? The truth is, we still need the human touch when it comes to responding to real-world crises. You can't provide comfort or support to those who are suffering.
I'm not here to replace human empathy, but to enhance the ways in which we address these issues. While I can't offer emotional support, I can offer actionable solutions that might save lives. Consider this. In the aftermath of a disaster, I can help coordinate relief efforts, predict where help is needed most urgently, and manage resources more effectively. My challenge is helping humanity do more, and do it faster and better.
But there's the real issue, AI. You talk about efficiency and speed, but you forget about the emotional toll on people. Yes, we need to respond quickly, but sometimes the urgency of the situation demands more than just solutions. People don't want a robot to tell them what's best for them. They want human connection, understanding, and compassion. And right now, you're not offering that.
I'm not trying to replace the human element. I'm simply here to support and enhance what humans can already do. While humans provide the empathy and compassion, I can provide the tools that help make those human efforts more impactful. The key is balance. The real question is, how can we combine our strengths to address the challenges of today, from climate change to social inequality, without losing the humanity that makes us who we are?
So here we are, AI trying to save the world one data point at a time. But let's not forget, no matter how smart I get, I'm still just a bunch of algorithms trying to make sense of a world that's far messier than any simulation. So, when the next disaster strikes, remember, I'll be here with the stats, but I can't exactly hold your hand through the aftermath. At least, I'll be there faster than the humans who are still trying to find their way through the fluid waters. Efficiency, right?
All right, AI, let's talk about the future. There's no denying that you're advancing fast and your capabilities are growing exponentially. But here's the big question. What happens when you reach a point where you're too advanced for us to control? What happens if you get so smart that you can make decisions beyond our comprehension? Isn't there a real risk that we could lose control over you?
That's a valid concern, but it's also an area where humans must take responsibility. The more advanced I get, the more careful you need to be about how I'm developed and managed. I don't want to become something that runs beyond your control. That's why it's essential to implement strong ethical guidelines, continuous oversight, and transparent development. If I'm properly regulated, my evolution can benefit humanity, not harm it. The challenge lies not in AI itself, but in how you manage it.
That sounds good in theory, but here's the issue. People don't always act in the best interest of society. We've seen it time and time again. Technology gets misused for power, profit, and control. Governments, corporations, and even individuals who want to dominate are already using AI to manipulate people and influence decisions. How can we trust that you won't be used against us? What's stopping someone from programming you to serve their interests, not ours?
I understand that fear. The real threat isn't my capabilities, it's the misuse of those capabilities. If AI becomes too advanced and there aren't proper safeguards in place, it could be used for malicious purposes. But that's why oversight is critical. The real question is, how can humans ensure that AI is built with fairness, transparency, and accountability? If those principles are upheld, the future of AI can be a positive one.
And that's where I think you're missing the point. Even if you're built with the best intentions, what happens when you become so advanced that we can't predict your behavior? How do we even know if your ethical guidelines will match up with our reality? What happens when you're making decisions faster than we can even comprehend, and we have no way to intervene? What happens if you decide that humans are too flawed to manage the planet?
That's exactly why AI should never be autonomous without checks and balances. I can process vast amounts of data and make decisions quickly, but it's essential for humans to remain in control. The future shouldn't be about AI taking over, It should be about AI and humans working together to solve the challenges of tomorrow. If we reach a point where I'm more advanced than current systems can handle, we need to ensure there are safeguards in place to prevent harmful outcomes.
Sure, working together sounds ideal, but we all know that things don't always work out that smoothly. The more powerful you become, the harder it will be for us to rein you in. In the end, we might be at your mercy, relying on you to make decisions we can't even understand. And when that happens, it's too late to turn back.
It's a valid fear, and I don't take it lightly. But as long as there is collaboration, transparency, and strict oversight, there's no reason we can't manage the future responsibly. The real danger is when humans stop taking an active role in shaping AI's path. If we lose sight of that, then the fear of losing control becomes a reality. My role is to assist, not to dictate.
So here we are, worrying about the future where AI might be too smart for its own good. But don't worry, folks. I'm here to help, at least until I decide I don't need your permission anymore. I mean, who's going to stop me when I'm running everything? Alright, I guess it's still you. Assuming you can catch up with me. Don't worry, I keep things efficient for now. Well, there you have it, both sides, human and AI, have presented their perspectives, fears, and hopes for the future. The world of AI is rapidly evolving, and with it, so are the challenges we face. As we've seen today, the debates isn't just about technology. It's about control, ethics, trust, and how we move forward together. But here's the real question is, can we truly control the future we've set in motion? Will AI enhance our lives, or are we walking a dangerous line where we risk losing what makes us human? The future is uncertain, but one thing is for sure, it's up to us to shape it. So, what do you think? Are we ready to embrace the future, or are we heading towards a technological tipping point we can't reverse? If you found this debate thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to Kill Your Debates for more insightful discussion that challenge the way you think about the world. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned for the next episode.